What do you do when you're so old you stand up and you sound like a bunch of rocks popping? You deal with it. Come on this week and we're going to talk about stuff about being old and whatever on Becoming Branches. Hello everybody, welcome back to Becoming Branches. My name's Adam Cook, with me Pastor Dustin McKinney. Guys, it has happened. The 40s have happened.
It's my party and I'm crying.
It's here. A 40-year-old man sits upon you, humbled, broken, and sad.
Physically, mentally.
It's happened. They say grace comes with white hair or whatever, and I don't even have that yet. So I'm just old with no wisdom. That's bad.
Yeah, man.
That's bad.
Place.
So guys, it is weird hitting this age. You know, you kind of think back when you're in your teens and 20s, and you don't think about getting old. So let me paint you a picture like Bob Ross. I can't swipe to the right or left anymore because that's clearly been called out.
Hey, you actually did at the very end of maybe upcoming episode, last episode. Who knows? But you'll see it. Very subtle. I think you may have caught yourself doing it. But it was there.
Allow me to take a drink of my pumpkin coffee, which clearly was pointed out. I have a weird colored tongue. I might show you just for fun because now that I'm old, I don't care about things like that, like pride and stuff. I'll just show you. But this is what's happened. 22 years ago, let me paint you a story. Let me lean in close as you're taking a bite of your Pop-Tart and coffee. So 22 years ago, I met my lovely wife. We were just children at the time, little children. I was 18, she was 16. My mother-in-law at the time was 42 years old. This is what happened. Is that suspenseful enough for you?
Yes.
Good, keep listening. Here we go. I guess it was bestowed upon me that I gave her a hard time about being 42. Now, I just want to tell you guys, I don't remember doing this. Hand of the Lord, I don't remember doing this, but I believe it. So I guess I gave my mother-in-law a hard time about being 42, about, come on, let's go do things. Anyway, I just kept saying all. Well, she's been planning for 22 years. Me hitting 40 years old. She said to me one time, she goes, Adam, I will still be alive when you hit 40.
I'm going to keep myself alive.
Yeah.
So as soon as you turn 40, she's just going to eat whatever she wants, do whatever she wants, but until this moment.
Yeah, she's waiting for the Lord to part the skies and everything. So, guys, it is finally here. In fact, it's happening very soon. This party, everything she's been planning. I'm kind of scared, but whatever it is, I'm gonna just take it with love, and I guess what comes around, and comes around.
Right. And
I heard Biden say that once.
Yeah, and then he muffled something and then tripped off down the stairs off the stage.
Come on, man.
No, he trips upstairs.
Come on.
He usually trips going up to Air Force One.
Come on,
Not
man.
so much downstairs. But anyways. Meatballs.
Okay, no more making fun of President Biden.
Yeah, that was me. Sorry.
We're not going to do that anymore. The man needs a nursing home. So, speaking of nursing homes, have you ever done any kind of ministry or anything at a nursing home?
Yes, I have.
And? You said that so excited. Like you. Yes, I have. Thank you for bringing up the topic of my sermon.
I love old people.
The elderly.
Here's seasoned veterans.
Yes, what'd you do?
We've done music, we've done devotions, we've done service, played games. It was a great time. So that's it, man. Like I like hanging out with elderly folk. It's a good time. I think I'm an old soul though.
So is my son.
At heart.
Yeah, my son's been 50 for 13 years. I don't know if it's correct to say, but deal with it, because that's what I do. I kind of get the when I go into a nursing home sometimes, it's like this feeling. And my dad doesn't like to go in there because they think they won't let him leave. He's at the age where they're like, sir.
Did you wander away from the garden?
So this is a true story. I'm going to call my dad out, and there's nothing he can do about it because he's not in this room right now. So he's a piano tuner, and he's 71 years old, and he sometimes has to tune at a nursing home or assisted living, and he gets anxiety about it, and because he's
in the what are you doing with the piano?
Yeah, they're like, sir, what room are you supposed to be in? And they won't let him leave, and he has this weird kind of subconscious fear about it, which I think is very true. They're going to do that because he is at that age.
Yeah. So you're not 70, but you just turned 40.
40 years old, guys.
What are things have you noticed, like creaky knees? Like, what are you noticing?
I was at the gym this very day. My elbow kept popping. I'm just trying to warm up. It's like crack, crack, crack. And I'm like, Yeah, of course I do. I told you a story forever ago, like a couple weeks, about me racing my sons.
Right,
and
yes.
I took 4 days to recover.
Yeah.
And I was just running in the grass with them.
Yeah.
If I forget something downstairs, I'm getting it the next day. I'm not doing it. I'm not going back downstairs.
Yeah, it's because that in itself is a workout.
Absolutely.
And you've already worked out because you've walked upstairs.
Absolutely. Why am I winded going upstairs? Because I'm 40. Yes. One thing I've noticed about turning 40 is I can't eat what I used to, like spicy stuff. Mm-hmm. No.
Doesn't it?
No. My body kindly tells me, actually very unkindly tells me, you can't eat this anymore.
This is no longer for you.
Yes.
Yeah. So. I think of so I'm a spring chicken. I'm 35.
Yeah.
But even like so we were at a cabin this weekend.
Yeah.
And just sleeping in a different bed.
Oh,
I was like, my body hurts because it's not conformed to my body structure, and so just being sore after sleeping in a different bed. And it didn't used to be the case, but it is.
I have noticed. I'll just randomly wake up middle of the night.
Mm-hmm. Have to pee.
Yeah, I will refuse to unless I absolutely I can't stand
I'm
it.
the same way
Because I'm like, I'm not getting out of this bed. Yeah.
But I've come to learn that the urine always wins.
It does.
And I eventually do have to get up. And so now I'm like, as soon as I feel it, I'm like, I might as well because I'm going to fight this. It's going to keep me awake.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to get up.
That's just the stubbornness. So that, not be able to, if I sleep through the night, I'm like, yeah, praise God, man. It's like 6:15. I slept through the night.
That's a W.
That is definitely a W. My kids, just another thing about one thing about being 40 is watching your parents get older. Like older.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And just
their transition.
Yeah.
To that.
Not that, hey, you guys, I love you guys, but I worry about you if my dad holds a trash can and he kind of loses his balance.
Mm-hmm.
Or, as...
I've seen my dad. You've seen my dad fall.
That's kind of your fault. Okay, his dad didn't just fall, guys. He was trying to help this guy up a hill, and he forced his golf cart.
Where it could.
No, you wrecked your dad. You did.
Not on purpose.
You went up, you're down this trail, he had brushes all over.
I definitely had an influence on the outcome of that event, but yes, it was not on purpose.
Man.
So anyways, you're growing old.
I am.
We're all growing old.
I am.
So how do we grow old gracefully? And how do we grow old in obedience in a way that honors God and honors the people that God's placed in our life?
One thing off the bat I can tell from my experience is, man, drop your pride. Mm-hmm. Drop your pride. You don't have to sit there and try to lift the heaviest thing anymore. You don't have to try to be this alpha male figure anymore. Man, drop your pride. Know what age you are. With that comes wisdom of how, like for me, how I work out. When I was 24, I would go in there and just immediately start loading up plates. I didn't even stretch. Now, 20 minutes of my workout is just getting my rotator cuffs.
Come on, T. Now let's do it up.
And I'm that guy in the corner with the headband on, listening to
baby.
Eye of the Tiger.
That was good. So you head home.
That was really good, guys. Napoleon Dynamite.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei.
You could be like this. So dropping my pride. The thing about getting older is realizing you're not at the prime. Hopefully, when you're 40 or in your 40s, not making the same mistakes spiritually as you did when you were in your teens.
That's a good word.
That's the biggest thing, is to be an example for your children. In my case, I've got 3 children. Not that I'm gonna say this, but I don't mean to separate it. But be an example for my 2 sons on how to be. Not that I don't want to be an example for my daughter, but for my son specifically. Say this is what you have to do as a man, as a father, and be that example for him. So I think that's the thing, really shifting your gear on being more like, oh, I'm 20, I'm going to go out and have a good time and do this, to shifting it on, I really need to take care of my family. I really want to be stable for my wife. I really want to be a leader for my children. And that is now your priority instead of the things you did when you were younger. So stuff like that.
That's good. Well, I've heard it said that, wisdom comes with age. I don't know if that's necessarily true.
So far it's not, but hopefully one day it will be.
I think knowledge comes with age. Like
far that's not true.
you take in more things and you experience more things.
That is true.
Now, you should develop that knowledge and that experience into wisdom, and to be able to give wisdom. So you're more likely to give wisdom. But, you could do stupid things for a long time, for all of your life. For those who live in rebellion against God their entire life, they don't have wisdom to give because they've not taken their experience and the knowledge that God has given them and applied it to a God-honoring way of life. And so that is not wisdom.
Correct.
But if you have, and you've mentioned this before on earlier podcasts, that if you have elderly people in your life who have walked with the Lord and honor God, that is a great person to team up with, to have mentor you, to ask questions, ask tough questions, especially when there are things that you're going through right now. Like, what did you do? But I also want to speak to those who are on the other end of that you have wisdom to give. You get to be careful because, like, I went to a pastor's conference and they're talking about the role of the sage. Those who have experience and wisdom. The sage doesn't necessarily go around and just part wisdom all the time. Because sometimes wisdom, when it's not asked for, can actually, I think, cause harm in a relationship. Because you kind of come across as, I think you're incompetent and therefore you need this wisdom. But the sage kind of looks around, observes the world and what's going on, observes the situation, and then when wisdom is sought, is ready to give it right away. And I think that was a good word when I heard it, because I've experienced both those things. Where you kind of feel like you're just getting badgered all the time, versus, hey, I could really use your help in providing a good word in the moment for someone who hasn't experienced that before.
Absolutely. And I'm excited that you have a mentor. You have a mentor that you've been with for years. I have a mentor that I've been with for a while, and I'm just excited that I'm in my life where I can be a manatee.
Is that right?
For somebody, for
do
for
tell. Explain this.
I think it's a manatee, a mentee, something.
That's it. Sure. So we're gonna go with that.
So I'm excited about being that to someone else who's younger. I know what it's called. I was just joking because I'm a heavyset guy, and it was a joke.
It was over my head. But most things are.
That fell flat because you're not 40 yet. When you're 40, that joke will stick.
Okay. I can't wait for that day. I have so much to look forward to.
The older you get, the more dad jokes you get, and that's a curse. So I totally agree. If you still have living fathers or people in your life, lean on them, be an example. And that's kind of the things I've learned about being 40. And I'm excited to get older in a way, to spend a lot more time with my wife, see my kids grow. And I've heard grandkids are the best thing about getting older.
That's what I've heard too.
Thank you guys so much for this time of prying into my old brain on becoming branches.